Grace. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Councillor Ed Nash will now give us a presentation regarding the Community Covenant for the Armed Forces.
Right, thank you very much indeed. Just a little death by PowerPoint presentation to update you all. It's great to see so many here. I think we doubled up on the numbers we had from last year when we first set up the Armed Forces Community Covenant. And I thought it would be a good opportunity to let you know what the Covenant has actually done in the last 12 months. Following that, we're going to add some more signatories to the Covenant and finish up today with a little conference for those who are interested in how we take it forward. So on the 25th of June last year, we raised the flag, we came in here and we got together and we signed the Covenant. The usual suspects. Glad to see you again, Lady Shuttleworth. You only got a different colour on this year.
I couldn't remember what they wore last year. I'm so glad. I couldn't have one on this year to remind me again.
And this is the Covenant, which is hanging on the wall up there. These are the signatories to it. I'm really glad to see some of the signatories can make it again this year. We had Brigadier Fitzgerald, Council Leader, Bill Byrne for the Legion, Ray Norsworthy, who's chairman of our charity, couldn't make it this year. Jem Commerce, NHS Lancashire. Good to see the Governor Kirkham Prison here today. We've got a great supporter. And Lancashire Constabulary is about somewhere. Inspector Oval, see him again today. The SPVA, of which I am a member, SAFA, New File Housing and Army Benevolent Fund. Again, we have representatives here today. So those are the starters on the charity. Might not be so easy to see. This is the what we set out to do, with the Covenant in the middle. We've got the regular forces in Wheaton Camp, prison at Kirkham, communities and parishes, schools, churches, war memorials, the cadets, three different types of cadets, and some of the charities. We've had the Legion here today, we've had Blesma, we'd like to see the Blesma people here, and several other charities that we're involved with. We're also looking after ex-servicemen's club, and we estimate there's some 5,000 veterans. Now I've managed to find 60 of them in a year, so that's an area we need to look at. We're looking at doing welfare for employment, PTSD, and resettlement transition of regulars coming out of the forces. Keep the services in the public eye with PR using the cadets, helping cadets and running Armed Forces Week. The revenues we started a series of events called the NAFI Cafe. We're looking at running events, and one thing that the veterans have started to specialise in is going out in a beautiful day glow jacket, which we have here, and with people like Keith, who's the expert here, helping the club days and processions, etc., to be safe by sealing off roads. We've done quite a bit. Done 3 of those already this year, 4, sorry. Then Heritage, we're starting this year. Heritage 2014 starts next year. It's the 100th anniversary of the Great War, and we're looking at what the Men of File did. Just one little example: the highest number of officers killed on the Somme came from King Edward's School. So it's a little heritage we've got to do. The principles we did complement the National Covenant. The National Covenant had only going 8 months when we started. Encourage everybody within the community to support the Armed Forces community and make it easier for them. And it's a two-way arrangement, so we've got a good liaison going with Wheaton and other places. The ladies here from Wheaton Camp, including a star singer from Saturday. You don't get over that one, will you? And Captain John Wilson, who's down with them, who is a great friend of ours. One point of contact once to get, and we put it together with the one-stop shop. There's a self-referral pathway, a place where servicemen, women, ex-servicemen and women could come to as a hub. Right? It's around the corner from the job centre, and around the corner from the one-stop shop. And I've done quite a few people appearing there this year, arm in arm, walking down the one-stop shop, walking to the job centre, helping to get shifted on. There it is. You can't miss it in Richmond Road. It's got a big red door and a sign on the window. Right. And we've been funding it through minor grants. We set up a charity, which is this one, to administer the working covenant. And our trustees are nearly all ex-service people from the 3 services. Chaired by Ray Norsworthy, who was a borough councillor, the former wing commander and senior trustee. And of course, Frank here, who is Royal Fleet Auxiliary National Chairman, a borough councillor for Ray Green, another trustee. So we make sure that the watery side is well looked after. Yeah. Measures we want: work with New File Housing to get support on housing matters. We made a very good working relationship with Alison Parsonage, I'll try to praise more. She's a Fireborough housing officer. She's also a Roberts Legion caseworker. And we sometimes have problems with people trying to settle an accommodation, and we managed to sort them all, and we made a proposal to give a higher grade for those with compulsory redundancy from the forces. We don't have too many appropriate houses in the fire, but we do have an awful lot of landlords that we're slowly building relationships with, so that when people do leave, we can help them to get housed and schooled. That's a bit about the relationship we have with Wheaton Camp. This is Rory the Lion. He's the mascot of the 2nd Battalion. And that's Ian Morris, who's one of our veterans, former parachuter, who's now actually just got a job on Blackpool Trams. Yeah. So when you give you a fare, you'll be there. What did I do? I visited with the CO, Colonel Neil Unsworth. We looked at all the things we could do, and we got a successful bid which Sinead started off here, and we backed up. We managed to get £30,000 to do a new community play area in Wheaton Camp, which is, how's it coming on? You're getting there, good. Right. And we also got a grant off Lancashire County Council to buy some video equipment so that the families can send videos to Afghanistan and vice versa. I think you've done a Gazette Youth Fund application. And I got a quote from the CO: we generally feel very well supported by the community, and it's a good feeling. It can only help us during the tour. Relations with the borough are the best I've known in 23 years. That's from a letter to the Mayor about a month ago. So I think we're doing that side all right. Establish a partnership with employers, special employment agencies to help people to get jobs. But 2 things we're worried about, well 3 really, when you're leaving the forces. If you've got children, which school can I get them in? Where do I live? How do I get a job? Where do I get a job? So we've done quite a few. We've got about 9 placements so far in the year. 2 agencies I've got a particular relationship, because they're both ex-service recruitment agencies, one in Blackpool, one in Preston, and they've given 4 jobs going from them in security and driving. We're working together with Job Centre Plus, with Julia over there, and sorry, was it Alison? Yeah. You know, so that we got a 2-way street going there. And I started to an outreach programme with employers to think of us when they're thinking of somebody who's the best trained and motivated workforce in the UK. Because that's what ex-forces people are. Provide external support to former armed service personnel in Kirkham, respond and coordinate any requests for assistance. I hang my head in shame here, I've only been there once, but I promised the governor there that's one of our next things that we're going to do. And we've got people there that shouldn't be there, possibly, and we've got people there that should definitely be there, but still have a services background and need to come out and not really offend, and we can help with that. Work together with the NHS to ensure priority treatment to Armed Forces personnel. I went to the North West Armed Forces commissioning for the NHS. We've got two systems going now. One is for the NHS Canine Care Trust based over in East Lancashire, and they look after all veterans, anybody who's been in the services, anybody with any problem whatsoever that's medical, and they can actually go back into their service records, which other care trusts can't do. Liberties helps them in all the other ways, and they appoint a counsellor to them. That's an NHS funded organisation, and we're now in the middle of contacting our local care trusts to establish partnerships with them. We just recently helped two wounded veterans to get priority for their operations. So they've been hanging around now, one of them for 4 years, was shot in the shoulder in Iraq. Mental health conditions. Anybody who's been to war has a mental health condition of one sort or another. You don't get smacked and not have pain. And it can turn up at any time. One of the biggest problems we have are the post-Falkland Island people, who this time, 31 years after the event, are having severe problems with post-traumatic stress disorder. We can refer them on. Canine Care look after them really well. Most of their counsellors are ex-medical corps people. It's a really good system. We have a local practitioner, Sue, who's helped a couple and have done really well with that. And one guy that he sold his medals for vodka, we're now getting his medals back and we're getting him straight. So bringing people together, I think we're doing well with this, but we're starting to coordinate them. There's lots of agencies. The coffee factory gets jobs, provides people who are disabled to employers and gives a subsidy to an employer, and employers don't know that. Royal British Legion Remploy, Royal British Legion help people to start businesses. Combat Stress will take them on to help them again with PTSD. We did a rededication ceremony for the memorial to add Sergeant Nigel Coop to it. And I joined the North West Veterans Administration Pensions Committee, which is there to ensure that servicemen get a good deal when they leave for whatever reason, particularly if they're leaving for medical reasons. And I'm working together with the Reserve Forces Association, because one of the Army objectives and the services objectives is to recruit more people for the reserves under the new organisation. Establishing a living heritage project. We haven't done much about that yet. I got 2 bids in for funding. One's called Story to Tell. We're looking at the sixth formers and the youth of the filed interviewed veterans to put together their stories. And in 2014, we're looking at a commemorative march. We have a very close relationship with the 4th Battalion of the Duke of Lancaster, which is the Reserve Battalion. But we started with the 4th Battalion of the Royal North Lancashire Regiment in 1914, where the men of the file met in St Anne's, Lytham and Kirkham, and marched to Preston to form the battalion. We're looking at redoing that march next year, so if anybody fancies a nice trot out, then you'll be welcome to come along with us. Run events that commemorate things and enable fundraising and expect gratitude. There's an awful lot of people that I'm very suspicious of going around the borough at the moment with peddlers' licences, putting a wristband on, and I've never heard of them. And I'm sure they're bona fide and all the rest of it, but our service charities are losing money all the time, to the extent that some of the Legion have been put on part-time. So we need to boost back to the traditional charities, especially when we finish in Afghanistan. I'm going to say we won't start somewhere else, but it's time then to look at not just the guys who are serving. It'll be great when they're all back again, won't it? Yeah, we can do fun things instead of that. But the ones that have served, people from Korea, people from Aden, people from Borneo, people from Cyprus that you've forgotten about. Went to the prison. We had a great day, didn't we? And the prison organised the presentation of a Canal Zone medal to one of the people there. He was in the same regiment as me. many years before, and he had a lovely day, and his family came up and we brought a colonel down with all the jingle jangle medals on and everything, and they really made us great support to him. So that's just some of the things. We're on a ceremony, we're having a Modest Armed Forces Day next Saturday afternoon. We hope you can come down and join in. Bigger one next year. Looking at Festival Remembrance next year in the Pavilion, if we can do it, the poppies coming down, etc. And a band concert planned with 2 military bands. These are the measures we set up to celebrate the freedom of borough. Well, we're waiting for them to come back so we can celebrate. Last year we had a platoon, which is 30 soldiers, on parade at the War Memorial in uniform for the first time for many, many years, and that was really good to see, and we hope we'll be able to do all our major war memorials this year. Some example of work: Corporal Dean, there's a guy stuck in Spain, nobody gave him any work because he was a Brit. His family's in Freckleton, arranged to get him a ticket from Malaga. He hitchhiked from Gibraltar to Malaga. I got him into a local driver agency because he didn't have a single penny on him, and got him some work, and then his father was put in a home and his mother was left with £26 a week to live on. So we got the local county councillor to sort that out, and it's well sorted. Zoe tried to set up a business and wasted all her savings doing it badly. So now with Civvy Street with the British Legion thing, she also needed some PTSD therapy when she was had a violent partner, and following a modified programme because the reconciliation resulted in another little one. Andrew, charged with GBH, took a lousy job. His employer came to smack him with him. He was a para, so he smacked him. Ended up in we ended up in the Crown Court in Preston. I went and appeared as soldier's friend. Got his regiment to pay for the costs of it, and the judge gave him back to Veterans for File to do his community service, and said it wasn't worth the prison sentence, and he didn't have any money, so it wasn't worth the fine. So I've not got him working with us, and he's a really, really strong guy. He got the GOC's commendation in Bosnia for brave conduct, and I have to haul him out of a lousy job. And that's some of the problems we've got. He was discharged when the battalion was going somewhere else and seemed to have been looked over. Ended up on his on the floor of his parents' house. We had to give him notice to quit. We introduced him to the SPVA, arranged for accommodation. He's fallen out with that, so just arranged another move for him. We got a bond off the YMCA to do it. The Royal British Legion sent down £3 grand worth of vouchers for him to buy furniture, and I got him a job offer from a local hotel. So he's sorted, but he still has PTSD problem because he can't properly. Oops. Moving backwards now. Things I've got to do yet. Still got to contact everybody. Still need to be the website. Still need to leaflet anyone. I've just had a guy come in off a leaflet I put in the local pub, and he had real problems which we have sorted out with accommodation. He can only stand for 20 minutes at a time. What job can he do, etc. I've just been talking to Inspector Keith Ogle about training our veterans properly for events where we close off roads. I need to brief everybody. I need to go to all the schools. I've got to get together with the prison at Kirkham to take that on. I've updated the website now, but it needs updating all the time. I've got the Army Engagement team coming up, and we're still going around the local cafes to find a place where we can do Naffy Cafe and a fundraising plan. We aim high, that's my outlook, by the way. Aiming high. That's, I enjoyed it Saturday afternoon. All those lovely bangs. Yet to do, Plan Armed Forces Day, PR. We've got a memorial bench going into Wychwood for the Coop family, which will be opening next month, we hope. Stadium, we've got to recite the War Memorial because we're going out the church into the, well, near the church. We've got issues about ongoing recruitment. Look for a discount card that's anybody who's been ex-forces can use in the field. The newsletter, securing the finance of our hub premises. We're still bidding for funding for it. It's great to get the play area, but I still need somewhere to work. And we're looking at a 5-year programme that's moving on. See, our ladies section, by the way, are also aiming high. We have this unique left-hand salute that they do, as you can see. And, this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Army engagement team. They're lean and they're mean and they're really keen. So you'll enjoy it when they come and brief you. And here is a fabulous briefing. That's a certificate we got from the Reserve Forces Association to express our appreciation last year. Myself and the Mayor accepted it, as it was then. And that's just the end of the report. So thank you for listening. Okay, just need to show our appreciation to you. Colin?
So to Sinead Pinchin first.
Thank you very much for all the help. Sinead leads the wives in Wheaton Camp and does an enormous amount of work, and actually wrote the she wrote the bid that got £30,000 from the MOD. All I had to do was say, yeah, we like it. Thank you very much. Right. John Wilson.
Another to Captain John Wilson.
He's on his way in.
To Drew Steele.
Drew is our military liaison officer from British Aerospace at Wharton, and obviously we have a close tie with the people at Wharton, and there's a lot of veterans in there.
One or two, yes.
Yeah.
One or two.
So we look forward to taking that even further.
Thank you, Julia, for your work. Thank you very much.
Julia is the Armed Forces champion for Job Centre Plus here at the Job Centre in File, and we're working very closely together. Thanks for all your help, Julia.
Thank you.
To Stephen Pye.
Stephen is our local representative from the Federation of Small Business, and we're working together to help people set themselves up in business and keep it going. Many thanks, Stephen.
And last but by no means least, Captain John Wilson.
John is the welfare officer in Wheaton Camp. He's got a much worse job than the guys in Afghanistan, because he's got 300 families to look after, and all the other things that go on when you're not in the camp. We work together quite a lot of the time. It's a great relationship, and long may it continue. Thanks, John.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Right. We're just going to move the table. If you'd like to take another seat. As I said before, we put quite a few names onto the community covenant. These names are dedicated to working together for the benefit of former service people, serving people. And we say it's yesterday, today and tomorrow, because we've also got to encourage our youth to take up a career. Our own council leader's grandson's just joined my regiment, which is, there's no pressure there, David. What's that? I'm a proud member of the Royal Artillery. So I have the Royal Artillery Association over here just to make sure that we're doing properly. So we're now going to add 3 names to the community covenant. Would you like to take a seat? Alan Oldfield, the Chief Executive, is here to make sure we do it properly and that it's all been signed up and is bona fide. So, right.
On that, I think, just to keep that.
Okay. So if I could call forward Drew Steele on behalf of British Aerospace.
Yeah, it's a real privilege and an honour to be able to do this.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Julia Brown, please.
Thank you.
And Stephen Pye.
I can confirm they all signed the names correctly.
Thank you. As a returning officer. Thank you very much indeed. It's great to add more names to our covenant as we go down the route we're doing. We've only been at it 12 months. We seem to have got an awful lot done, but there's so much more to do. I'm hoping that all you covenant stakeholders will come together with us soon and we'll move it forward even more.
Can I call upon Councillor Eaves to say a few words?
Yes, well, good morning everybody, and thank you for your attendance. Farm Council is committed to the help and assistance of our serving and veteran members of the armed forces. I was honoured to be able to sign this covenant 12 months ago. It seems like only yesterday, but 12 months ago. And I am particularly pleased to see 3 further organisations signing up this morning. And I'm convinced that this covenant and working in partnership will go from strength to strength.